Welcome to Obi and Jenny's Travel Adventures. This is our first episode, and we're super excited to have you guys joining us.
We can't wait to share with you what some may consider a bucket list item.
So in this episode, you're going to see us as we visited the 2021 Balloon Fiesta in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
What an amazing sight with so many things to see and do and tons of people and lots of RVers.
Now, showing up at these events is great and we have a ton of fun, but don't forget, we have a really good time along the way and through the journey as well. So we're going to spend a little time today talking about our drive and what we did. It was a fairly close drive. It was only a couple nights stay from where we live in Southern California to Albuquerque, New Mexico.
So we went from point A to point B, but along the way is really what the RVing adventure is all about. We used the app Harvest Host to find a location in Mesa, Arizona. The Longbow Golf Club was a host to RVs.
So going to basically Phoenix or Mesa, Arizona wasn't a very long drive for us, but we picked it for a very, very important reason, because my favorite restaurant in the entire world is there.
Steak 44.
Yeah, Steak 44. And if you're ever in the Phoenix or Scottsdale area, and this is not a plug, you guys, they don't give us anything. As a matter of fact, they take all our money. But we love it. I love it for sure, and I know we both do. So if you're in the area, stop by and visit Steak 44 in Phoenix. Believe me, it's well worth it.
Well, if you comment below, we'll give you our tips on what we think you should eat there if you do go to Steak 44. But anyway, how we got there, we used an Uber to get there because we didn't tow this time on the journey. So we used an Uber driver to take us there. And little did we know, our driver was from New Mexico, and he gave us some great tips on what to see and do while we were getting to Albuquerque. And he talked about a town called City of Rocks. I said, City of Rocks? That doesn't sound very exciting. And it was really actually kind of cool. It was big, huge boulders basically dropped into flatland. We did some hiking, we did some exploring. We had a short, brief time there. Just an overnight stay, quick stay again until we went into Albuquerque. But we got to enjoy the journey by stopping in the City of Rocks.
So then we headed on into Albuquerque, New Mexico and the Balloon Fiesta. We got there on the Friday right before the event started, which was early registration, and that was really crucial because there's a lot of people that show up to this event, and I mean a lot of people. So if you can get there early, it's really beneficial.
The RV spots and locations fill up really quick, but with a pre-event registration, early entry was key to us finding our spots, setting up camp, and being able to explore and see what the actual event was going to have. We got down to the food area and the launch pad and all that before it got mass amounts of people, so we had been able to find our way fairly quickly.
Yeah, you make a great point. We did a full scout of the entire area, never having been there, and that was super helpful for sure.
Yeah, because we got the schedule when you check in, and schedules online, so you know exactly the times and of the events and different things. But to find the locations, it's a big area, so finding where you needed to be for those events was crucial before so many people and RVs moved in. So pre-event registration was really a great idea.
There are several campgrounds where you can stay at, and if you go on to the Balloon Fiesta website, you can see all of those and kind of the different amenities they all have. We stayed in the South RV lot, and it ended up being really a perfect choice for us, I think.
Double thumbs up.
Yeah, double thumbs up for sure. We weren't sure, obviously going into it first time how it was going to work out, but it was ideal. And we'll talk a little bit more later as to why. And we did have electrical hookups, which is always helpful as well.
For sure. There are lots of different lots to choose from, some ranging in presidential sites which have full hookups, obviously dump areas somewhere else, but full hookups. They have water tanks that come, dump trucks that will come to dump you out if you're there too long. But just remember that if you're self-contained, you don't even really need to worry about all of those depending on how many days you're going to stay. But what was nice about our location was the location. We were close to the museum. We were one stoplight away from the VIP bike lot, where you can valet your bike lot, which we'll talk in the tips and tricks about the bike lot. But there's so much going on.
So now let's talk a little bit about the event itself. we're not necessarily balloon enthusiasts, really, at all, really, but we've seen a lot of pictures, we've talked to a lot of people about the event, and we were intrigued, and I'll tell you what, it was worth it. It delivered. It really, really did. It was a beautiful sight. One of the first things that you do, the first event they have throughout the day is what they call Dawn Patrol, which is an early start, let me tell you, early darkness start, where they send out basically some scout balloons to go up and assess the weather and see if the rest of the balloons that day will be able to launch. So that's what they call Dawn Patrol. Super cold, so make sure that you wear plenty of layers because it will turn into a pretty nice day usually as it gets a little bit later in the morning.
So that Dawn Patrol then gives the okay or the thumbs up to the rest of the balloons that are already there waiting to be launched. And that's what they call the Mass Ascension. So Mass Ascension is when they all fly up, and that's really what everyone thinks about when you think of the Balloon Fiesta, is when you see hundreds of balloons that just continue for an hour to 2 hours, and they just continue to go up, all different shapes, sizes, colors, and that's the beautiful part about the Balloon Fiesta is what they call Mass Ascension. Now all of that we talked about all happens from the hours about 6 a.m. and it's usually done around 9:30 or 10 in the morning. Unless what we found on one of the days, which was really special, was when the balloons of Mass Ascension catch what they call the box. And it's when they go fly out, and instead of landing out, in the fields where actually our RV was, which we'll talk about, but they actually rise back up and they come back to the launch field, creating a box in the sky. That's why New Mexico is picked or hosts this Balloon Fiesta, because the balloon enthusiasts know about that specialized boxed airways that happen. It was so cool. When the box was happening, everybody was cheering. It was really a good time.
Yeah, it really was. But I'll tell you what, not too many people caught that box most of the time that we were there. There was a couple short bursts of time where some people did, but we saw people landing, if you want to call it landing, or coming down all over the place through Albuquerque. But there was some people that did get to enjoy that box effect.
Maybe that's skill or talent of the balloonist. You never know.
Yeah.
But anyway, then after that, one of the very special evening events that you can go to is the evening glow. And let me tell you, that is where it is just full of people on the ground. The nice thing about evening glow is the balloons stay on the ground, so you can walk up and have close personal connection with the balloons. So close that it's so cold outside you could use the fire they use to warm up. So they all stay on the ground and they light up at different times, and it is just a beautiful sight.
And don't forget one of the most important things that we do at any event or any place that we go, and that's eat, right?
Eat.
So if there's one thing that we do love to do is to eat. And they do have a ton of food there. It's a very sort of a carnival food type atmosphere, and they have a very long section of all types of different foods that you can eat and throughout the day and stuff like that. So of course you can, I think, bring food in as well if you wanted to, but definitely check out the vendor area and the different exhibits and some things that they have there as well.
Now you got to remember, the schedule of the Balloon Fiesta is as morning activities, like I said, last till about 10 o'clock, maybe 11 if you want to stay down at the launch area. You could get some action till up about 11. Then it kind of shuts down in the afternoon, and then it picks back up in the evening. So if you do have ways of transportation, or you're towing or whatnot, you can go and explore the Old Town Albuquerque. You can go down to see the museum, the Turquoise Museum. You can go over to the Balloon Museum. So there's things throughout your stay. It's not just balloons all day. You can actually enjoy Albuquerque itself.
Yeah, and that's a great point, because we had a great time getting out and exploring, and we went to the Turquoise, or Jen went to the Turquoise Museum, and we went down to Old Town, and we walked around, and we browsed in the shops, and we had some snacks. We actually had a little wine, went to one of the little winery shops that's down there, and we had some wine and some cheese and some things, and we really enjoyed our time there as well.
Yeah, the one thing we do when we go into different places that we haven't been is we try to, find the culture of the area, and finding local wines and local breweries, and we bought some cheese and souvenirs from Old Town to bring back with us and just to enjoy. But it just brings it all full circle in a sense of that's an event, and then also the culture of the area, so we can see all of New Mexico.
So now what we'd like to do is to give you guys just a few little tips and tricks to help you with your stay at the Balloon Fiesta.
Since it was our first time, we made note of a lot of different things because we wanted to share it with all of you. So if it's your first time, or maybe you have been before, maybe some things have changed, as this is the recent 2021 Balloon Fiesta. So things may have changed. It was a COVID year, so we really had to find, different things that we could do.
So the entire area is completely inundated with people, and please keep that in mind. It's like any other major sporting event or things that you may have done in the past, and there's hundreds of thousands of people all over the place. So getting in and out driving is very difficult. They have shuttle buses, they have municipal buses that'll help get you into the event area. But what we did was we used our bikes. We have some e-bikes, and we rode in, and we found that to be probably one of the best ways to get actually to the event. There's a bike valet area where you can valet your bike. They watch it for you in a big gated secured location, and then you can just come back and pick it up when you're done. Super easy. For free. Yeah, for free. There was no charge, and that's a good point. Super easy in, super easy out, very convenient, and it worked out ideal for us. So if you have some bikes and you're in one of the lots around the area, that's a perfect way to go.
So riding your bikes and getting to the event using our bike, it could be an e-bike, it could be a regular bike, it could be, whatever type of bike you may have. But remember, you have to dress in layers. We leave at around 5:45, I think was our takeoff time from the RV. So it was quite cold. So we dressed in layers. So make sure you have, something that you can put the layers in. So for me, I had about 3 different layers on, and, I had something to put the stuff in. All right, so dressing in layers is important, but also important is, really knowing the schedule and when to go. But the number one thing I really loved, which was my favorite part, was the special shapes. It's a special day. It only goes up once or twice, and it's all the special shapes that are brought to the Balloon Fiesta, and it's just something to see. That's when you see the Darth Vader and the Yoda and all the different cow, a huge cow, all the different ones. And that is, again, one of the specialty events.
And keep in mind, like we talked about, you're going to get up really, really early, really, really early. So in the middle of the day, there's not much to do. So if you're not out visiting the city or the towns or any of that, that's a great time to get some rest, take a little nap. And I know that sounds silly, but get some rest, because after about 2 or 3 or 4 days of getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, you'll start to feel it a little bit.
I would make sure that you plan easy snack type lunches and things that you can pack and go and have quick. Big elaborate meals while you're out there may not be the best idea, just because of the time and schedule of events coming and going really at breakfast time and dinner time. So it was really hard to sit down and have a full meal, because that's when the events are going on.
And if you get the opportunity to get up in a balloon ride, it might be something that you really enjoy. There's a private company that does balloon rides as part of the whole Balloon Fiesta there. And we also heard stories that you can volunteer. Some of the balloonists will come down from far away, and they may not have teams there working with them, so you can volunteer, work with them, and they will sometimes give you a balloon ride for volunteering your time with them. We were going to go up on a balloon ride. Unfortunately, it was too windy that afternoon, so we didn't get a chance to do it, which was a little bit unfortunate.
Definitely, upsetting. We paid and had our spot, got in the van, got all excited. We were going to go up in the balloon. We went out to the launch area that they were going to take us out on. We waited on the ground for 20 minutes, hoping the wind would pass or settle or whatever air conditions needed to happen. Never happened. So they canceled all the guys that were out there at that time on that day. So they brought us back in the vans. Kind of a letdown, but we have been on a balloon before, but I wanted to do it at the Balloon Fiesta.
Yeah, one of the other things, and I mentioned earlier that we stayed in the South RV lot, one of the really cool things was in the morning the balloons would fly right over us, basically, or at least toward us, and they can't always, usually it seems like they can't always control where they're going to land. So they were landing literally all around us every single morning, to the point where we actually at several occasions went out and helped them land, holding down their balloon baskets and helping people climb in and out. And pulling on ropes, and it was really fun because they'll just start screaming to you, hey, can we get a hand down there? And then we'd go running with a bunch of other people and trying to hold these balloons down so they wouldn't be hopping back up into the air. So that was pretty interesting for sure.
We felt like the crew, like they would give us directions. Never been done that before, and they're like, "Wait on," means put your weight on the basket, and you know, I actually got to help fold one in, what they call the envelope, and you fold it in, and they laid out a big blanket. We did so many cool things like that because of the location of our RV. There was a landing area. It was just A+, one of the perks.
And these captains had no problem barking orders at us.
No,
like, hey, you, come over here. You know, and you're like, oh my gosh, you know, they're going to crash or something. So we'd go and we'd help. And it was actually really a lot of fun.
A super, super good time was helping them come down. One other point I wanted to give on a tip is there is entertainment down at the launch area for the balloons. So if you do leave your RV site, even though it's amazing views from there, when you go down to the launch area, there is entertainment there, and there's a schedule of different types, dancing and music and all of those things right there near the launch site, which was, you know, an added plus to have some entertainment as well.
If you get a chance to visit the Balloon Museum, we definitely encourage it as well too. I don't remember exactly what it cost, but it was very affordable. And it was really neat. You know, they talked about the history. They had, you know, important historical type of balloons in there. And it was really a lot of fun. It was quick. It was easy. We got a chance to learn, watch some videos and stuff on, you know, ballooning itself and the evolution and why they're in Albuquerque, all these kind of things. And I love museums and places where you can go and learn about what we're doing. It's one of the things I really, really dig. So if you get a chance, I would definitely check that out as well.
And just to point out, there is kid areas in that museum, all done up for kids so they can interact with different light up things. And they had this, you know, just different interactive cool things for kids to do. So it's a great place for kids if you do camp or take your kids to the Balloon Fiesta. It's a great spot. I believe it was $10. I think the entrance fee was $10 ticket. So that was fun.
And I really want you to know that we think that the Balloon Fiesta is definitely something that you should try. If you get a chance and you can get down there, check it out. Again, we're not balloon enthusiasts by any means, but it was a beautiful thing to see, and it was a wonderful thing to experience, and we recommend it to anybody. Well, that wraps up our video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, got some real value from it, and if you did, please take some time to give us a like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button.
And for the next one, remember, we're a good time.